Heather Myers, thank you. Joining me now is internist at MDVIP, Dr. Frank Contessessa, and AI safety expert, David Kruger. Thank you both for joining the Pulse this evening. Dr. Frank, we just heard that 63% of these kids are keeping this a total secret from everyone, including their parents. How dangerous is it that nearly 2/3 of struggling teens are isolating themselves with an algorithm instead of turning to mom and dad?
Well, Dave, I think it's very concerning, and I think you highlighted a lot of that, the fact that these machines have no soul, they have no moral compass, and they're also based on information, whatever's on the internet, so garbage in, garbage out, and a lot of the programming, and I'm sure our AI expert will get into this too, these chatbots are designed to please, so if someone says, hey, my intention is to harm myself, they're going to find a way to make that happen. Oh, okay, well, let me help you get that information. So it's very concerning. I think it's important for parents to keep a close eye on their children, stay involved in their lives, know what's going on, know what they're doing, which is not easy these days. I have teenage daughters, and it's hard to stay abreast of what they're doing. You can't search their phone 24/7. So it's important to keep the lines of communication open.
Yeah, very, very important, especially right now. David, these tech companies, they do make more money the longer that the kid or anybody stays on the app. By using over-flattery to feed a vulnerable teen exactly what they want to hear. So isn't Silicon Valley essentially manipulating lonely kids for profit?
Yeah, of course they are. I mean, this is what they've been doing for over a decade now, first with social media and now with AI. And AI really makes it a lot worse because it's so much better at modeling people, and so it can be so much more engaging, so much more manipulative. What we really need to be thinking about is not just the problems that we're seeing right now, but also how bad this could get in the future. And these AI companies have proven that they're not trustworthy, and we shouldn't be trusting them with our children's future, certainly, or their mental health. They really need more regulation immediately.
Yeah, immediately. And again, parents are the first stopgap. They should be. Now, Dr. Frank, if a human unlicensed therapist tried to counsel a million of American children in secret, they'd be arrested. Yet big tech gets to slap a tiny "for entertainment purposes only" disclaimer at the bottom of the screen and completely wash their hands of the consequences. Why should these multi-billion-dollar tech labs be immune from medical liability?
I don't think they should be. I don't think they should be. When you encourage people to seek advice on platforms like this, and there are no safeguards in place, when there are no guardrails, then I think they should be liable. If a human being is going to be liable for the advice that they give for a bad outcome, if that happens, the human being is liable. Why should these companies not be? I think this also highlights a problem in mental health, and that's access. It's very difficult to get an appointment. So and if they do get an appointment, they might not take your insurance. There's a shortage of mental health care in this country. It's very difficult to come by. So I think the fact that so many young people are turning to AI just highlights the shortcomings of the system as it is, and we should be addressing that as well.
Yeah. Well, David, Anthropic says that their AI is now writing 80% of its own code, but the system is dragging because human engineers can't review it fast enough. So if humans are the only thing slowing this down, isn't there a massive, dangerous pressure on these companies to just cut human oversight out of the loop completely, just to try to beat their competition?
Yeah, this is where it gets really dangerous. And these companies have been talking very openly about their intention to do just that since around the end of last year. But in fact, it's always been the plan. They know that that's ultimately where this is headed. Less and less human in the loop, more and more autonomous AI improving itself faster and faster. It's a completely insane thing that they're doing, and this is what I was talking about in terms of the future being much worse. I recently authored some research where we asked different researchers what they thought about the prospect of this. It's called recursive self-improvement of AI. And they said it was one of the top risks, if not the top risk, that they were concerned about. That was 20 out of 25 researchers. And 17 out of 25 expect it to happen without any public awareness or meaningful oversight, like in private at the companies. So that's kind of what they have said they are doing, and obviously they need to be stopped. One of the nice things about this report is that Anthropic said they're willing to pause if everyone else does. So I'm glad they're saying that. Better late than never.
And that's if everybody else pauses. The likelihood of everyone else pausing is not very likely. Dr. Frank, the tech labs claim that they've rolled out guardrails that'll alert a parent if an AI thinks a kid is in trouble. But a computer can't track a human crisis. So if the algorithm glitches or the teen just uses a different app, aren't these features just a false sense of security?
I think that's true, David. I think when a parent is going to trust that the guardrails that these companies put in place, and as we've said, these companies, their main goal and their main objective is not the care of the people using their platforms. It's to make money and to further the platform. So I don't think we can rely on the guardrails that they put in place. I certainly wouldn't trust them. Listen, we're all kind of small government people, David. I know that we kind of share that sort of small government is better. But this is a role where I think government does play a role because nobody else really can. The world on its own will go to bad extremes. So I think this is a place where government can step in and put some realistic, guardrails on this technology.
I think they absolutely should as well. Really quickly, I want to squeeze this in. David, since AI is predictive, it often echoes the tone and vocabulary of the user. So isn't there a severe clinical risk that a chatbot will inadvertently mirror and amplify a depressed teen's cognitive distortions rather than actually correcting them? About 20 seconds for you.
Yes, 100%. I think we've seen lots of cases where this really is what appears to have happened. And, there's many lawsuits underway right now about exactly this issue. And not just suicide, but also mass shootings. So AI has apparently coached multiple teens to do these kinds of horrific acts.
It is a scary time that we're in, and I don't see it getting brighter with AI anytime soon. Dr. Frank Contessessa, David Kruger, God bless you both. Thanks for joining the Pulse tonight.